Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Travis Semulin Sours. We are jumping into a traditional best of 3 draft on MTG Arena. You may notice a giant card covered with cats. Today, we have a free preview card for Modern Horizons 2 given to me by Watsy, and I've been slowly removing cats from this image over the course of the stream. By the time you're watching this video, the full reveal will have been done. You can check my Twitter if you'd like to see the whole thing. I will be tweeting it out, and it'll be there just a couple days old. Chat, say hello to YouTube. Are we on Rise, Rip Apart, Iteration? I'm probably on Rise. I always like having one if I'm in those colors. Kind of a weak opening pack. I like Rip Apart a lot, and I'll go Lorehold. Don't think I won't. But there's like 3 decks you can play this card in, which I dig. Prismari Command getting the pass, huh? I like Prismari Command. I also like Inkling Summonings. Dave had been suggesting that I don't take the summonings high enough. And by starting to take them earlier, I was pretty happy, because like the same thing goes for Inkling Summoning that goes for Rise of Extus. I could play this in 3 decks. There's a lot of uncommons I'd take over Prismari Command. And I don't think I'm going to take it here either. I'm really considering that Inkling Summoning. Because again, we could play that in Witherbloom, Lorehold, or Silverquill. The only thing we can't play it in is Prismari. And I don't think Prismari Command is that busted. It's kind of like a shock, and it rebates you your mana. But I like Inkling Summoning. Okay, Flunk has some thoughts. I think that's the best removal spell in the pack. I like it better than Lash of Malice. So, and I say we could play this in Witherbloom. We could. We could play this in Lorehold. We could. We're kind of shutting that off by taking the Flunk. We could play it in Silverquill. Still can. And we could play it in Dimir. Like, I've actually been able to draft blue-black pretty consistently in this format. It needs to be open. Well, there's a Selfless Glyphweaver. Am I ready to do a Silverquill draft? Because this is an incredibly flexible card. Like, if you draw it before you have 8 mana, it's a 2/3 that you can use to protect your other creatures. If you draw it after you have 8 mana, well, cool. Let's blow everything up. This is perhaps not the most aggressive Silverquill deck I've ever seen, but it doesn't look bad. This pack leaves me a bit wanting. Negate's pretty good, but I don't think we're looking to go there. Creative Outburst is somewhat of a signal that people are not interested in Prismari, but we kind of already knew that, and I'm also not interested in it. I think I'm going to take the Campus Guide. That could mean we splash the Flunk if we do get into Lorehold. Okay, so Prismari can confirm. But this again, like, this is a 3 mana shock that cycles. I feel like that has closed off to me, and that's just not what I want to be doing here. Unless we want to think about Grixis spells. But I don't think that's a deck. Because I could kind of take this and potentially play it with the Inkling Summoning and Rise. Well, it's the best card in the pack. That's the thing. Let's take it and see where this takes us. Could in theory be Esper spells too, but I've already got a Flonk. So I'm thinking about maybe we get into Dimir and splash this. Snow Day is not okay. Snow Day is basically just in Quandrix. Which is fine. You can play Quandrix. Yes, it would just be a Dimir deck with a splash. Which is currently looking open adjacent. I kind of need to see the wheel here. I'm going to take the Test of Talents. Snow Day doesn't really work out well in Prismari or blue-black. It's kind of a Quandrix only card. Source, I've played it in the other decks and it was terrible. Yeah, I think... What are we doing? We might be Jeskai spells. And this is a tough start. I'm actually going to take the Pigment Storm, because if we went Jeskai spells, we would probably be base Lorehold. Which means I could kind of play most of this, except maybe not the Flonk. And I could still play the Glyph Weaver, like it's not going to be terrible. I don't hate having an Archivist, depending on how nutty our plan goes. Study Break is too good to still be here. And I guess could still put me in Silverquill. Huh. Okay. So we're playing white. We're definitively playing white. Like, right now, I'm going to make a maybe pile. All I know for sure is that I want to play white cards. That's a fine playable if we end up Lorehold. But like, out of pack one, this is a wonderful series of white cards. So now the question becomes, what do we want to pair it with? And I do like a Conspiracy Theorist. It's a solid 2-drop. You can potentially get some looting in and even just cast the cards. Azorius spells doesn't work out as well as Dimir spells, because I figured out after playing with it a couple times, one of the more important cards for the success rate of the deck is Pest Summoning, and you can't cast it in this deck. I think I'm potentially digging the Conspiracy Theorist. It still goes in the maybe pile. I wouldn't hate Expel, but I should be able to pick one of those up later. This guy's pretty good. So maybe we are just lore holding it up. And then we've got a potential splash of a Flonk or an Electrolyze. Because this doesn't look bad to me as a starting position. And then there was Rutha. I might be able to make that mana work. Let's speculate a little bit here. I'm going to need to see a lot of fixing for me to want to play this Rutha. So technically it's still in the maybe pile. I don't think I ever saw Snow Day. And Naza are black cards, but there's also Reconstruct History, which I like. I don't have enough spells for Reconstruct History. Yet. I'm thinking Flonk is probably the splash. Because that would give us 2 sorceries, 2 instants. One of the instants gets another sorcery. It's probably enough food for the Dust Speaker to draw us a card or 2. Does this guy let you cast anything? Yeah. And triggers random lore hold nonsense while you're at it. There's a Pillar Drop Warden. There's a Spirit Summoning. I mean, I'd like to be doing all of that, but currently the Flonk just seems like a better option. I kind of dig the Spirit Summoning, but it's not my favorite summoning. The Warden could be okay too, but not great. This could potentially be good. I don't think I have enough summonings yet. Let's just get them, and this turns on the next learn card I see. Combat Professor just goes in the deck. Pillar Drop Warden can't get back Deadly Vanity. Because this is a creature when it's in the graveyard. Which is kind of weird. But just the way the cookie crumbles. But normally I think I'd give Grape Shot a try, but I think we need Guiding Voice given that we need more spells for various things in the deck, and we have something to get with it. Oh yeah, Pillar Drop Rescuer can do it, which is neat. There is a lot of pillar dropping. This is not a 2-drop that I usually prioritize, but I do need 2s, and I think it's fine. I think we'd probably play a Pillar Drop Warden, but I also think we could see one later. Whereas right now, I want about 3 2-drops in my normal deck, and I'm short. So I think we take this one. I have won the game with the other side of it, which is stupid, and I shouldn't be able to do that, but... And I want these campuses, but I think I need to take the Expel. Because we may not even need anything from our maybe pile. Got this Stonebound Mentor. I'm probably going to play that. I could play Thrill of Possibility and just probably not need any of this unless the mana happens to be free for it. Yeah, I think we're going to be A-okay just going straight Lorehold. I know that chat is probably surprised to see me drafting Lorehold. With the Study Break and a Guiding Voice, I'm pretty happy with the Reflective Golem. And it's another artifact for Reconstruct History, so there's like 3 artifacts we could hit. Okay, we've got all of our 2s. Neat. So I should get a Divine Gambit and a Lorehold Excavation, right? Like those, you always get those. They're just free. I'm not super happy to be first picking it, but I'm going to want access to this, so we may as well take it. We can get it with our Igneous Inspiration, which I think I want over the second Combat Professor. I would also be quite happy to have a Shock and the Combat Professor. Well, the point of the free preview... Okay, I told you we'd get a Lorehold Excavation. The point of the free preview is to let you know that I didn't pay for it. That Wizards provided this to me to sponsor the content for today. But I can see how that could be confusing. I'm ready for my Divine Gambit now. I guess we could play another 2 and be relatively happy with it. That's a little more aggressive than I normally like to be, but I'm not opposed to being aggressive. Silverquill, getting a Silverquill Campus would probably put Flunk in the deck. All right, so right now I have 3 lessons. I want this campus. I should probably just take this campus. So I've got 3 lessons and 3 learns. If I could pick up more, that'd be swell. But like the deck's basically done. I don't even think we'd necessarily need the Flunk now, although we could play it. Well, there's the Silverquill Campus. If it's free, we could consider it. I don't really need to be taking stuff out of the graveyard with the Tome Shredder, although it is an interesting combo with the Dueling Coach. I think I'm probably good enough that I can take this for my last card and be pretty happy. Well, I think Blood Age General... Oh, they're both here. Okay, we'll see later. Campus Guide. Yeah, the mana's just actively good. I could take the other guiding voice too, but like this looks pretty fine to me. Okay, there's interesting sideboard options here. I think I like the boots. Normally I would main deck these, but I think our power level doesn't need it. And same with Defend the Campus. I've main decked that plenty of times. So I think it's just open, yo. Oh, there's free gems. I'm never siding this in. I might side a second Lorehold Excavation in, though. So we've got more twos if we need them. If we're against a particularly aggressive deck. There's an argument that the... I think it's actually a pretty good argument that the Campus Guide might be better than the Flame Scroll Celebrant. I think I'm gonna put it in for the general, because I don't think we'd ever realistically be activating it. I could also consider cutting the Tome Shredder and playing the other two, and then bringing it in if we feel like we need it. Yeah, I think I'm on that. Like let's kind of be pre-sideboarded versus aggro. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this would leave us 8, 9, 10. I guess we'd want to be a little heavier white? Question mark? Not really. Well, our spirit count's going to be okay, but I've never really activated the Blood Age General. We have 3. I'm just playing it here so I have crap to block against Silverquill. Because there's going to be a Silverquill aggro deck that we'll eventually run into, and when we do, it'd be cool to be able to do a thing about it. Never really used these Kaldheim backs, and they look kind of cool. Let's see if we got something here. This is an easy keep on the draw, but we're not on the draw. All right, it got a little better. That undoes our mulligan. I think this is probably worth doing. It's a great trade. Yeah. Cobra Fling? Well, since you asked, the card is not Cobra Fling. That's kind of even better, isn't it? Well, Domain Burn wouldn't make a lot of sense if it's one in a red, right? Not that I'm, you know, passing off secret information or some such. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, Domain, not Converge. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what they're looking to do, but I'm guessing it involves this dude. Let's have it not involve that dude. I would not assign it to a letter under the bread scale because that is old and busted. Anyone who drafts with bread has not watched the Joy of Drafting videos. Standard beat. I thought better of you. Are you drafting bread in the year of our Lord 2021? Bread is an old broken acronym for people who draft poorly. There's a new one that's better and works. And I'm trying to tempt chat into saying it, but somehow they won't. Sadly, it's not toast. It's not crab theory. Do you guys really not know how to draft? Brave! Unglued knows what's up. You draft brave, not bread. I mean, that works too, Shade. I'm teasing Standard Beat because I like Standard Beat. I saw it as an opportunity. I'm realizing too that like, this is what I was talking about yesterday, where teasing is not necessarily a good thing. I apologize if I offended you there, Standard Beat. I didn't mean to. I was trying to prompt people to talk about Brave drafting and get an opportunity to showcase my YouTube videos. Everything is a sandwich. A hot dog is a sandwich. A hot... Oh, you broke my brain. Sorry. You guys ever used a Cogwork Archivist to do that? But they don't realistically need that Frost Links back. A hot dog is a sandwich. I would classify it under the R of brave drafting. Were I a classification kind of man. What can I get with this Stilty Break? I can get a Spirit Summon in. That doesn't really seem like it's doing much, does it? I probably want to do that on their turn, though, so we can make some determinations. I don't think the Spirit does anything. I'd rather just loot through this. You got something close to lethal even if they do have a permanent. Forces the block, leaves me a blocker. We've got our mana sink on board. Well now. That's getting a bit risky, isn't it? I guess we're going to 1. And drawing a land. Nice. But they were dead because they attacked. I don't know if I'd have noticed it. I think I would have. I hope I would have, but I don't know for sure. I cannot guarantee you that I would have noticed that. There's a significant chance I would have passed the turn and died. I certainly didn't see it until they scooped. It was a bad swing, but it was also a bad scoop. I think the swing was they didn't know what Lorehold Excavation did, but I didn't do the math and didn't appreciate their life total. They swung in and killed themselves. I don't feel like I really need the 2 drops, especially on the draw. I think I would like to cut the Blood Age General and play a Defend the Campus. I'd like to think I would have seen it. Oh, I make mistakes. YouTubers understand that I make mistakes. Chat understands that I make mistakes. These things happen. Everybody makes mistakes, not just me. I don't often risk it for a biscuit. Okay. I don't think I have any instance. I'm gonna pitch the Cogwork Archivist here. I probably should have tapped my Conspiracy Theorist too, eh? Just in case they have like a counterspell. Well, I needed another land, and I didn't get one. I think they found a better line than I did, Iggy. It's okay. I want this gone first. Well, if I didn't have the study break, I think they're wrong. But given that I did have the study break, I don't think it was actually that risky. They've got their bounce spell and they're waiting to get me with it. They probably don't think I'll use it now, but I will totally block this. Oh, it's just a tendrils. Okay. If we reconstruct, we could get Rise and Discovery, which is not bad. But I kind of want to make hay while the sun shines with this dude. If they're going to trade that aerialist for it, that seems great to me. Of course it's not Kindle. It's Kaleidoscorch. But what does it do? Pardon me. Pardon me. That seems alright to me. I don't really want a 2-1 right now. I guess it's pumpable, so it could serve to finish out a game. Have you watched The Joy of Drafting, Scary? Because if not, you should consider watching that. It might make you win more, and make your decks less bad. I need all of that to die eventually, but not right this second. Exclamation point joy. You would be better for doing Battleground stuff, John. I'm kind of done with Battlegrounds for now. I know how to do that. You click the button every turn. That's it. You just click the button every turn. Every single turn. Turn 1, click the button. Turn 2, click the button. Turn 3, click the button. ABC. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. All right, so what do we want our bottom card to be? I'm okay going creature, stacking it creature removal spell for now. Because there is some concern that I'll mill out. That was last game. I want a Glyph Weaver? Yeah, that seems great. I still think I want to rise this. It just leaves him without particularly good blocks. And that makes him dead. All right, I'm going to fire up the Stream Raiders battle, take a quick potty break, and we'll come back and do the next round. We ought to have some archers in here, eh? All right, I'll be right back. I have the volume turned up on my headphones so I can hear the sub alerts and things since I'm not wearing them today. And I could hear those screams from the bathroom. Adam with the kills, Abe with the assists, rewards for Balstorm, Shademere, Samsa, and Guifor. All right, we know how to beat these guys and get tank scrolls. Let's beat these guys and get tank scrolls. All right. Round 2, fight. Shank, shank, shank. Shank, shank, shank. All right, I like to party. I think I probably run the Blood Age General first, as I'm more likely to want to trade that off. There's some argument that if there's a chance I would expel this, that the Eager First Year might be better, but we know what we're going to expel now. They get him like an opt? It's not the best value Cody I've ever seen. I think I'm still supposed to try to block with this, but they're gonna have spells, so it's kind of awkward. My hope is that they're stuck with some spells they can't cast. Never mind. Because we're pretty flutter-duttered here. I think all of this was in our opener and we've just hit lands, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I have some bad news for Team Travis. Our deck has power, but it is not power in lands. I think I am leaving myself dead here. Well, at least we're not drawing that land. I could still play with a Lorehold Campus. Okay, just for fun. We will concede with Sadness on the stack. All right, so the 2-drops don't really matter here. I don't need those. I'm going to want Defend the Campus, and I'd like to have another way to kill Cody, but I don't think I really do, right? But I've got some ways that'll do it, Expel and Piggy Storm being the most obvious ones. Yeah, I think if there's potential to flood, we may actually want Zephyr Boots, which is kind of weird, but it's another artifact to potentially reconstruct. On the play, maybe I do want to keep this dude. It's just the worst of the 2s. I don't think Test of Talent solves the Cody problem. We know we'll get to counter something, which is cool. But Cody's the problem, not the spell. I mean, the spells are a problem too, but splashing to 1-for-1 deal with them is a little scary. I should have Reed Snag. Pew pew. That's too much text for me to think about right now, Dave. But chat, have fun with that. I do not currently have a way to deal with Cody, and I would like to have a way to deal with Cody in my hand. So we're going to do that. I was hopeful that we'd draw a removal spell to use for this, but we didn't. And it leaves me somewhat unhappy. We're again a little flooded. Oh, I don't think they have the Cody yet, or they'd have played it. What did we put in there? A guiding voice? It's already shuffled, but I don't mind not drawing a land here. So many lands. Do not want. We were supposed to be able to loot through the lands. That was the plan. And yet we cannot. All right, so we be gambiting. The question is, what do we be gambiting? I guess the flyer at this point is the one thing I can't really interact with. I can double block that. If I even want to. I probably want to, but... These sleeves are angry. Lands are good. They help you cast your spells. Draft is a great start, and I actually have a video series programmed to introduce you to how to draft. If you type !joy in my chat, it will take you to a short YouTube video series. I think there's 7 videos, and each of them are 10 minutes or less, explaining to you how to get started with drafting. It's not drafting this set or any other set, really. It's about how to draft as a player. I think you'll quite enjoy it. Like, it's not set specific, it's teaching the very basics. So I think that'd be a great place to start. Once you've watched those, hopping into Premier Draft is really good for new players. Let me know what you think of it. Would love to hear some feedback. Oh yeah, teach by example. Yeah, I think Premiere is the best place for a new player, unless you need to read all the cards, in which case Quick Draft could be somewhat interesting. Bye-bye. That was a good draw. Lorehold Excavation really pulled its weight there. I'm still a bit nervous about splashing if we're running the excavation. I don't know if I want 2 excavations or not, because there's some chance I'll mill myself out with as much card draw as we're playing. I certainly want the 1. I don't feel like I have enough time to durdle around with the dueling coach, which is why I'm kind of looking for something else to bring in. Because the flunk would be pretty easy to get in here. Yeah, the boots certainly pulled their weight too. It's like I don't have any other combos with the dueling coach. Yeah, I guess it's probably a 4-mana 2/2. I could look at Tome Shredder, but I don't really want it. I could splash a Fracture. I could just play the other Excavation. It dug me out of a tight spot. I see what you did. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that would have been nice to have here. We don't have a lot of ways to kill Cody, which is an issue. But most of the ways to kill it would involve splashing. I kind of just want the other, yeah, I don't think this guy does enough. I'm going to play both Lorehold Excavations. That makes it more likely that I'll hit one, and then maybe mill the other. This is not a lovely hand on the draw. It has the cards that matter, but not the lands to cast them. I don't mulligan a lot of 2-landers on the draw, but knowing what we're up against, I can do better. Okay, I can work with this. We'll shuffle you back in. Start hitting some land drops. They mulliganed a couple times too, so fair game. That's getting a little scary. It's a lot of damage coming in. But we do get to clean the board here. Your research is impractical. That's pretty impressive, John. Well, that kind of sucks, but not much choice here. I don't have an instant yet. I'd really like to have one. But I may not have a choice. Are we just going to reconstruct just to get back the Rise of Exodus of Sadness? Don't love it. I think I'm going to Dust Speaker and equip him up. They may have a removal spell. If they do, I'll be a little sad, but it will also leave Cody tapped, so a top-decked Expel would do some work. Is that a 0 mana Piggy Storm? No, it's a 0 mana first day of class. I don't mind that so much. I want to discard that land, but I can't. Because we got a lot of things we need to do here. Most of which is try to stay alive. Because these things are going to kill me. So I think I need to Gambit one and reconstruct for a way to answer Cody. I could reconstruct for the Gambit, but I can't cast it again this turn. Yeah, this inspiration just doesn't do anything here. These things are just killing me too fast. That's not helpful. That's incredibly not helpful. Oh god, I'm so dead. We're just literally dead. X4 Tribal is just making this inspiration look terrible. I should have fired this off earlier to kill the Cody, and I knew I should have done it when I had the opportunity to do it, but I didn't because I'm bad, and I feel bad. This is probably also one of the better draws they could have had. So we did play a deck that had Wrath of God in it before, but this one doesn't. And I think given that that's the case, we're probably just dead. But I suppose I technically get another turn if we gambit one of these, expel the other one, and chump block, or just have these boink. I mean, I presume they're going to cast Introduction to Annihilation, but yeah, we need the Day of Judgment from the last deck for sure. We've got problems. Mostly that I'm dead to the shock that they can get with that Pillar Drop Warden. No, the Grape Shot that they can get with that Pillar Drop Warden. Why do I know that Serpentine Curve is there? I guess because it was the last card revealed. This, I think, leaves us beyond hope, but I'll give it a shot. Give it a shot. If only we could actually cast the Wrath side of this. Does it let you do that? I want to cast this side. Yeah, that's not going to work. So I think we're just way beyond dead now. I'll see myself out. I like that they have to wait for me to decide what I want to get. Oh. When you see Cody, you should pick Cody. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, let's do our battle. Should have some archers up here. Let's give them some benefit. I did get to learn. I learned that Cody is busted. I thought you laugh, you learn. You live, you learn. You lose, you learn. Plunk. I think we got this one. They are weak and puny, and we are strong, powerful, and magnificent. Vangarth with the kills, Balstrom with the assists. Well, perhaps I spoke too soon. There's still a few losers left. I do not think they can be overtaken, and they were not. Loot for Miklas, Cowan, Kuya, and Zulu Plumber. All right, let's fight a Lich. I'll bring out the Plastic Templar for this battle. They really shouldn't be frontline, though. All right, and one more for some of the marbles. While we're here, make it a little more interesting for you. A little more interesting. Speaking of interesting, I have to mulligan again. I don't much care for that, but we can make this work. I probably don't need the Glyph Weaver here. Oh, the Bone Templar? Yeah, that thing's cool. I kind of have to respect the Quandrix Pledge Mage. I don't want to respect a Quandrix Pledge Mage, but I kind of have to. Oh, that makes me unhappy. Because I was planning to get value off of my Conspiracy Theorist, and then I didn't. Master Symmetrist has just been wrecking me since Dave called it. I mean, the attack's presumably good for us. Going lands would be good for us too, though, wouldn't it? I may have to try double blocking that thing. I'm pretty scared to do that. Well, they're giving me a free single block. I guess we take that, but like, they have to be playing some sort of combat tricks if they're jamming the Pledge Mage. Okay, we got what value out of him we could. And I don't have to worry about the Symmetrist anymore, so we probably just try to hold for a minute. Like, this is going to be some damage, but I could draw another removal spell, or we could conceivably hit a couple of lands and just play an Archivist and block it. I'm going to get two things in play, so we've got more blocking options. And I played him to block with him. And after all that, we stabilize with this land. We had a thrilling discovery, or a thrill of possibility in this deck, right? I'm pretty sure I do. So holding one land has value. I took another cat off. Did you guys notice? I'm trying to decide if I want to start moving spells back into their deck to minimize a serpentine curve. They're pretty close to being able to double pump this, which is terrifying. The other option is to try to put some spells back into my deck that would be okay draws. Okay, they've got one pump on this, right? I guess we have to make the decision now. It's 5 to pump. This is the best if they don't have anything, which I suspect is the best we can do. I was thinking they might have a combat trick and a pump, and I'd rather keep the Archivist alive for another turn. Because then worst case scenario, I could chump this next turn and block a 3/4. But I suspect if they have a combat trick, they'll just kill the Archivist, which is somewhat less than ideal. Okay, I like where this is going. I think I'm going to put my Conspiracy Theorist back in as a shuffle opportunity. Because I've still got Reconstruct History to get that dude. Now, here's where things get awkward, right? Like, I could fire this off to Reclaim. I don't think I'm supposed to play off the top of their deck. I can just hold the introduction if I'm scared of a bookworm, and I'm a little scared of a bookworm. That I could double block, which is not wonderful, but is kind of where it is. I've got stuff to win the game with. This isn't it. Now they've made it into a real threat, though, so I do have to kill it. And interestingly, have lethal next turn. Steady break would be nice here. But flyers are pretty nice too. I like flyers. They're flappy. All right, so how do we feel about defend the campus? I think we feel pretty good about defend the campus. It kills everything in their deck, except for the emergent sequence. And this. So I think we're very interested in defend the campus. Normally I'd say the 2-drops don't matter, but they've actually got some relatively aggressive 2-drops. Like we've seen 2 Amplimancers. That might be the only 2-drops that they have. Flunk would be really nice to have access to here as well, but I think I just want to trim out the Blood Age General. It's not particularly impressive anyway. Because I should be good at like blocking with this, blocking with the Celebrant, blocking with the Theorist if I have to, blocking with the First Year if I have to. This could get the job done. Job's done. I have. I have done it exactly once. I need to find an expel relatively quickly. I guess we look and see if we find the expel first. Don't need this right now. It can come back later. If we don't find that, we may be on take a bunch of damage and then slam Introduction to Annihilation to finish it, which is not what I want to do, but what I may have to do. I could conceivably block it now and pump next turn, which solves the problem. Yeah, I think the group wants to play Warzone as opposed to... But yeah, it's the same game we used to play. I think I'd rather play Warzone than PUBG. It's a lot more casual, and if it's something we're going to play once or twice a week, I don't really want to do that. Ooh. Okay, this is not going perfectly, but we can handle this for the time being. I overall enjoyed Tarkov. Are they just going to kill me with exponential growth or something? Like that. They could decisive denial this, and it would be bad. Because now we have to double block one and probably intro the other, and we're going to take a lot of damage. It was as bad as we thought. I need this not to hit reconstruct history or I risk milling myself out. Expel would have been a nice draw, but it's not reconstruct history. These lands gonna kill me. It would appear we're not going to have to worry about that. So we're leaving on Thursday, so I'll be streaming Wednesday, and then probably be back streaming the following Wednesday. Tomorrow's stream is going to be a little bit shorter, and the Wednesday stream when I come back is going to be a little bit shorter. We could have used Zephyr Boots in that fight. Yeah, I think I like that better than the coach. Thank y'all. I'm excited to see my parents, see my sister, see my nephew. My nephew's almost a year old, and I've never met the little fella. So it'll be good to see everybody and take a break. I think after this YouTube video, I'm going to put the spoiler up and we'll discuss it for a moment. And I can tweet it out as well, as that usually leads to good engagement. Right, let's play first. Campus Guide is going to get some work done for us. I can feel it. You helped me with that, Dave. You have helped me a lot. What's up, Rob? No, I think you were telling me you posted one on Reddit or something. I don't know how they pick who gets what, but I think it's pretty cool that I got this one. Yeah, I suspect that they do that on purpose. We've got sorceries currently, no instants. There's not a lot of instants in this deck, but we take what we can get. Do I want to spirit? Yeah, I guess that could let me double block another Groff if they have one. Or I could do this. All will be revealed for soon. Great Eye sees all. I don't really want to Thrill of Possibility any of these cards. I would really like to trade off this Archivist so I have something better to get back with Reconstruct History. So let's see if they want to do that. Maybe they do. This would give me an instant to get back as well, because like we're almost assuredly Divine Gambiting this. I don't need to Gambit the Doggo. We're going to Gambit this. Hey, that's some good value. Now see if they have another Doggo. Oh, just a land. Now Reconstruct can get back Thrill of Possibility, Divine Gambit, and the statue. This is one of those times where Reconstruct History looks real good. See how good it looks? They exploded. They straight up exploded. All right, chat, say goodbye to YouTube. YouTubers, thank you for tuning in. If you would like to stop by the stream, it's at twitch.tv/Semulin. Would love to see you here. You can see the drafting happen live, hang out with cool people in chat, and get to see preview cards, which I will be showing off in just a moment. See you next time, YouTubes.